Ladies and gentlemen, today I have to unfortunately report the death of one Connor Murphy. Now, Connor Murphy has been on YouTube for a very long time. I looked at his catalog, and he's been on here for roughly 10 years. And he's done a lot of stuff on his page, everything from workout videos to small pranks, street PUAs, skits, and ultimately looksmaxxing. PUA meaning pickup artistry. He was on the street picking up women and talking to girls and things like that. Now, I saw a lot of stuff on YouTube and social media and things like that. He was very well known, and he was very close to one content creator, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. But again, Conor McGregor, toward the end, he was looksmaxxing, and I believe he was into some things that ultimately didn't have his mental health in a good space, and I believe that's what led, I believe, to his untimely demise. And Clavicular, I hope you're watching this, because I don't want this to end up being like you, but you are dibbing and dabbing in certain substances and certain techniques and things like that would your ascension to peak, attraction could lead you to where this young man was at 32 years old. This was actually one of his last videos. His last video, the title of it is RIP Elon Muscular, and it was very weird, but I'm going to play a little bit of it so you all out there kind of get an understanding of what's going on here, okay?
I'm absorbing the spirit of Elon.
See this? You see this?
Thank you, Elon, for your sacrifice.
It's not. Now, I'm going to mute it, but as you can see here, it's kind of doing random stuff. All right. Now, and by the way, he's overseas too. Okay. This is one of his last videos, and RIP and fair use to Connor Murphy. I know he's no longer with us, but for YouTube guidelines, I have to say this. RIP to Connor Murphy. You see this?
Just for you.
His shirt's not buttoned up all the way. You know what I mean? He looks kind of rough. He's playing a ukulele for some reason. He's got the rock music in the background, and again, it's kind of weird. And the video he had before that was even worse. Okay, but I'm not going to play that one. The one he had before that was even more strange and weird. But what I want to take you to is the video from the content creator that was closest to him. That was none other than John Bravo Films. Fair use to John Bravo Films. The title of this video is RIP Connor Murphy, dead at 32 years old. We're going to play this. Again, fair use to John Bravo Films. This is a very heartfelt video, but he's going to explain what happened to his friend, all right? It gives a lot of understanding. So let's play this. Again, fair use to John Bravo Films. Let's get into it.
So Connor Murphy, just 32 years old and a pioneer in the fitness industry. He was going viral back in the days before going viral was even a thing. He was pronounced dead this morning at just 32 years old in the waters outside of a town in Bangkok, Thailand. And Connor was a friend of mine, so I have my feelings and my thoughts, but I first want to share to you what happened to Connor and what caused his death. There was witnesses who saw Connor on the side of the road acting about, and he was praying on the side of the road, acting, how Connor sometimes acts. Well, they panicked. They called the police, and the Bangkok police, they came to the scene. And once Connor saw them, he panicked, and he went and jumped in the lake by his home. And he was trying, I guess, to swim away from the police so far out into that waters. And I know those waters are very deep, until he was exhausted, and he ended up dying. And that's where his body was found.
Now, this is sad, man. I mean, I assume this man is American. He passed away in Bangkok in a river, man, tired from swimming. I mean, it's actually sad. I mean, that this guy somehow was not in his right frame of mind. He's trying to run from the police, and he thought he can get away in the river. And these overseas, like rivers and lakes, they're freaking hella deep, man. So I mean, I don't know what made him think that he was going to be able to swim to the other side of the shore in in a lake that's probably deep as the ocean.
Police later entered his home and they saw the house was very messy. There was strange paintings all over the walls, and we've seen this behavior, with Connor before. And his girlfriend who was at the scene, she said that he was up all night. He was going crazy. He didn't sleep all night. And the next day, I guess, is where he was found on the streets, where people ended up calling the police on him.
Now, at first I thought this stuff on the couch and stuff was like, some type of maybe excrement or whatever, but I guess it was paint. He was in the middle of the night, pretty much going crazy, painting the walls and, painting pretty much everything. And there's another video I'm going to show you from the New York Post that gives a little bit better description visually of what was going on.
Where people ended up calling the police on him. An American man went on a violent rampage, painting the entire interior of a luxury rental home valued at 22 million baht, causing extensive damage before running into the village lake where he drowned. His girlfriend stated she did not know the cause, while the homeowner was shocked and never expected to encounter such a scene. At 3 p.m. on July 7th, Police Lieutenant, Deputy Investigation Officer, received a report of a foreign man acting erratically and jumping into the lake of a luxury village in Bang Philly district. He, along with emergency doctors, rushed to the scene. The scene was a luxury house situated next to a large pond. Divers were searching for the missing person before finding the body of Connor Michael Murphy, 32, an American, about 20 meters from the shore. They recovered the body for examination on land. No wounds or signs of assault were found. The police sent the body for further autopsy.
Now, again, we don't know if he was on any kind of substances or maybe he was having some kind of, mental episode. But, and again, fair use to John Bravo Films, because it seems that he was very close to this young man. But, yeah, again, he went out there to swim. He was having an episode that I think his spouse or somebody called the police, and they were trying to, reel him back in so maybe they can get him some help. He flees and goes into the river, and he didn't make it.
Viewing video footage, a village staff member showed the foreign man suddenly exhibiting erratic behavior without known cause. He ran and swam in the village lake until he became exhausted and submerged before witnesses' eyes. No one dared to enter the water due to its depth of over 10 meters, so they immediately called authorities. Divers searched for about 30 minutes before locating and retrieving the body ashore. Security personnel at the village reported that the man went out and returned by a hired vehicle, which stopped at the security checkpoint. He offered the driver 1,000 baht, but the driver refused due to the man's abnormal behavior. Then the man approached the resident's car passing by, knocked on the window to get a ride inside, while security shouted, "Don't pick him up." The man then became agitated, shouting loudly and rolling on the road, making gestures as if praying to God. When police patrol arrived, he fled into the village and jumped into the lake to swim. Police called for backup and rescue teams, as they could not control him. Eventually, he exhausted himself and drowned. Miss B.
Now, again, there are pictures from the New York Times video I'm going to show you all that illustrates even more than you see in this article how bad the night was he was going through. While his significant other was asleep, I guess, in her bedroom, he was up all night just, he was exhibiting very erratic behavior overnight.
22, the deceased's girlfriend, said they had been together for about 3 years but had lived apart due to incompatible lifestyles. They had reunited less than 3 months ago. Before the incident, their life was normal with no problems or signs of illness. She did not know why he suddenly became erratic that day and never saw him use drugs during their time together. The vandalism with paint happened during the previous night while she was asleep. He refused to sleep. The homeowner shared her shock upon seeing the house, which had been completely defaced with paint, including electrical appliances. She said she loved and cherished the house, a beautiful property by the lake. She had carefully chosen the tenant and never expected to find the house in such damaged state, with furniture.
Now, before he finishes this article, he's not going to read this statement, but I'm going to read it because it possibly, maybe not, but it's possibly relevant. And it says, investigators from Bang Philly police station searched the house and the deceased car, finding 2 unused syringes in the front driver's seat and unidentified white pills in the deceased's waist bag. Again, the girlfriend says that she did not witness this man using any kind of substances, so this may be some stuff he was using before, because remember, he was looksmaxxing, so he could have been taking anything. It could have been even illegal substance. It could have been steroids. It could have been some type of medicine, whatever it was. And we don't know what the pills are either, because they're probably going to take those to lab for testing to figure out what they actually were. And they haven't finished the autopsy to see what he had in his system at the time of his demise. So all this, I assume, will be ironed out as the investigation continues, all right?
And decorations all destroyed. Initially, investigators and rescue personnel conducted an autopsy, finding bruises likely caused by rolling on the road. The rescue team will send the body for further examination to determine the exact cause of death, including drug testing. Evidence is being collected and the American Embassy in Thailand has been notified to provide information about the incident. So Connor was a friend of mine, and I'm finding it hard to come up with the right words and the right things I want to say. But we haven't spoken that much in recent years just because he's changed so much, you know. And last I spoke to him, as you guys all know, you guys see his behavior online. It's not how Connor used to be. It's not the Connor that I once knew. And obviously we know he's been experimenting with so many different types of drugs and experiments on himself. And I believe that it took over his mind and changed him from the person we all once knew. And it's sad because 32 years old, that's a kid. He had so much more life to live, so much more to give to people in life. But he let, you know, his demons take over him.
And this is what I was saying earlier, clavicular. I'm pretty sure he's seen this. Clavicular is in the looksmaxxing community. He's like the leader of the looksmaxxing community. Holo, he's in jail right now. But if you ever get out from your charges, I hope you're paying attention as well, because this is possibly your end if you start, dib-and-dabbing more in these substances and things like that to get your peak attractiveness and all those kind of things, the stuff that you're doing to your body physically and mentally, the breaking bones and taking these other substances and all these different techniques you're using. The word is some of these people are using meth and things like that. These things, if you continue on, eventually will scramble your brain, all right? And you could be in a very not good mental state like Connor Murphy was before he passed away.
Experimenting with drugs that changed him from the person we all once knew. And think about it. His parents have to bury him. You never want to see parents bury their son. And it didn't have to be this way. You know, the fitness industry promotes so much drug use. Even more now than it ever did before. They have a drug for literally every function of the body, and they promote this to people.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to just put this all on looksmaxxing. He's all right. The bodybuilding community, the fitness community. They're not what you see on the outside where they look really good. They're all chiseled up and muscled up, and they look like Greek gods and things like that. Behind the scenes, they have to put their body through different types of things that a normal person would not do. That the normal person would not have discipline to do under normal circumstances. But these guys, their whole, shtick is how they look. And so to maintain that over time, well, they have to put their body through certain things.
And haven't we seen enough people in this industry die? My friends die. I'm tired of making these videos saying one of my friends died. And they were all similar situations. Again, this is a lesson for all of us, and, a hard lesson. 32 years old, Connor Murphy is dead. And I wish, his friends, his family, I wish them the best because I know this can't be easy. So I'm sorry because this video is hard for me to make. But I want to, wish Connor a better life, wherever he is, and wish the best to his family, to his loved ones, to his friends. And Connor, 32 years old, rest in peace, my brother.
That's very sad. Now, again, let's go to this page real quick and show you some of the videos. This right here, a day in the looksmaxxing life of Matt. Yeah. I watched this video and it was weird, okay? That was 4 months ago. This was a year ago. Connor Murphy, glitch, please. And then the other ones look a little more comical. Apology for sleeping with another man's wife. The Connor Murphy virtual reality check. These are a little bit more, fun and funny, and he's talking to women and things like that. A little more what you would expect from somebody, a YouTube personality, the pranks and talking to girls and things like that. A little more normal of somebody that looks like this guy and the kind of behavior he exhibits, right? So nerd transforms into Chad. That's okay, right? But let's go here. This is New York Post, first New York Post. It says, looksmaxxing influencer Connor Michael Murphy drowns in Thai lake after bizarre security guard clash. I want you to watch this video, okay? Let's watch it together. Now, there's not really a lot of sound in here. This is him in the lake. His last moments. All right. Of course, those people don't speak the language, so we have no idea what they're saying, right? The divers in there trying to, of course, trying to retrieve his body. and the onlookers, law enforcement, other people that's in the area that probably lives there.
พอบอกว่าศาสตร์ลึกนี่ยาวอีกอะภาพ
That's the white substance of the pills they're talking about in the article right there in this bag. I don't know if he had it on him or that was in his apartment. It's probably on his person, I guess, maybe. They have it blurred out so we can't see what it actually is, but
เป็นเลข150นะครับ
there you go. Several different size pills.
เพราะว่า
I have no idea what they are. Those are 2 syringes that was in his car, unused, still in the package. So again, we don't know what he was taking or if he took anything that day or before that, the day before. So, but it's relevant to his, and you see this, all the stuff in his apartment, in his rental home. This is unsettling. I mean, he literally had paint smeared everywhere. See this? I mean, I hope that's paint. I mean, I don't know, but see that? Just erratic stuff. The kitchen, the appliances, the dishes, the walls, the furniture. There's paint everywhere. You see that? On the walls, on the furniture, on the appliances, on the dolls and the figurines. Oh, man. Hadn't taken the trash out, the house in disarray. Okay, it's not in a very good state. We got scales up here and all kind of different stuff because he was looksmaxxing, right? So there's all kind of different equipment and stuff he was probably taking and whatever. Good God Almighty. I mean, you can only imagine what his mental state was in just by looking at this place. Like, what was going through his head? What was he going through? Wow. So y'all see it, right? I'm gonna leave it right there, but y'all get it, right? This man was going through a very troubling time. Something was wrong with his mental. I have no idea what, but as you can see from your man John Bravo and from the looks of this, his apartment, whatever he was going on the last 24, 48 hours of his life, it wasn't good. And yeah, well, RIP to Connor Murphy. Hope that his family back home has been notified by now and they're able to make their proper arrangements. And I hope that him and his family, his friends, will be able to heal through this in time. And with that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Armchair Anchorman, where I'm just a normie here in the computer chair to give you the news in front of a webcam and this nice microphone right here. Let me know what you think about this untimely demise of this internet personality, this looksmaxxer and fitness expert, Connor Murphy. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section. And please, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that notification bell on the way out of the door. And I'll see you on the next video.